Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets,
Present.
Greg Miller,
Present.
Megan Sheets,
Present. Okay, the minutes from October 6, 2023, regular meeting.
I'll make the motion. We approve the minutes from October 6th meeting.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Megan Sheets,
Aye.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have the approval of the claims. I think there's some right over there. Yep.
Right here. I'll make a motion that we accept the claims as presented this evening.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Megan Sheets,
Aye.
Public comments? We have nothing? Okay. We'll start out next with the department reports. Police Department, Chief Shoemaker.
Good evening.
Aye.
First item on our agenda is the approval of ammunition purchased through Acme Sports in the amount of $2,041.35. This is our annual continuing education fund for ammo purchase, and this will get us hopefully to spring.
I'll make the motion. We approve the Acme quote for $2,041.35 for ammunition.
I second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Megan Sheets,
Aye.
Okay, that's approved.
The second is a SWAT team purchase. They have an annual budget, and we're looking at the items including a rifle from Acme Sports. That cost of the rifle is $2,084. And then there's $1,210.94 of additional masks, chest seals, packing gauze, bandages, tourniquets, and an electronic timer. I'd ask that the board, and targets for training, $125.25. Total of $3,420.19. I'd ask the board's approval. They have roughly $3,500 in the SWAT budget.
I'll make a motion that we accept the proposal for the purchase of the SWAT team in the totals of $2,084 and then also a total of $1,210.94 and $125.25.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Megan Sheets,
Aye.
Okay, have that approved.
Thank you. The third item are two handguns, a smaller version of what we carry for our detectives, undercover narcotics detectives. This would be paid for. The amount is $1,508. It would be paid through asset forfeiture funds that we've received from this. Basically, the cartel would be paying for these weapons.
Then I want nothing to do with it. No, no.
We thank them.
Yes.
No.
Thank you.
No. I'll make the motion that we approve the expenditure of $1,508 for guns. And in your narrative, didn't you say this stays with the department, not?
These will be the two firearms are about half the size of what I'm carrying, and you won't see them when they're trying to walk around following somebody at the Walmart or wherever. It'll be a lot closer, a lot smaller to their body, and it would remain with the department. They would not retire with these.
Okay.
So I made that motion.
I second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Megan Sheets,
Aye.
Okay, that purchase has been approved.
The last purchase is through our capital improvements plan over the last few years to replace some of our tasers. This is, I think we budgeted about $6,000 for tasers. This is a bill for 3 tasers at $4,026. Holsters, batteries, and some cartridges. The total is $5,293.75 to Axon Company, Axon.
I'll make a motion that we approve the purchase of the tasers and the other various equipment along with that for $5,293.75.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, that purchase is approved.
Next item, on October 10th, 2023, I received a resignation from our systems administrator, Colleen Moore. She has received a job offer that we can't really compete with. I would like to announce her last day will be this Friday, October 27th. And there's a note here to the city. She wants to express her sincere gratitude for the support, learning, and growth opportunities that she's received during her time at the Frankfort Police Department. And it's difficult for her to put into words how much being a part of the FPD family has meant to me over the years, and I'm grateful for the many friendships I have made. She also thanks the support and experience she's gained during her time with the city of Frankfort. So I would ask that the board approve the resignation effective Friday, October 27th, 2023.
I'll make the motion that we approve Colleen Moore's resignation effective October 27th, and with our thanks for many years of wonderful service to
Yeah,
our community.
16 years, many administrations before us have put a lot on her plate. She's gained a lot of knowledge, done a lot of work that various departments would have multiple people doing. So we appreciate that.
I'll second the motion to accept.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
And I'll echo Megan's thoughts as well. Let Colleen know, thank you for all she's done for the police department along with the city, because I know she's done a lot even for other departments and really helped you out a lot. And was very important in that move as you move forward. I know she's spent a lot of time, so tell her thank you.
Will do. In light of that, I'm asking the board to ratify my hiring of our intern at a part-time position, temporary part-time position for November, or I'm sorry, started this Monday. So, right? We know last Monday. What was that, Dawn? 16th?
16.
October 16th. And she has passed all hiring screenings through HR, and I'd ask that the board, we'll be using unspent salary from the systems administrator line. Her name is Chastity Akert. She's been our intern since January and is helping us at the police department in records, clerical, phones, walk-ins, and the rate of pay, part-time pay of $16 an hour. I'd ask for that, to ratify that.
I'll make a motion that we approve the new hire for the part-time records clerk effective October the 16th.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay. You have the,
That's all I have on my agenda. Are we doing job descriptions tonight or another time? Another
Another time.
Okay. That's all I have then.
okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you. Okay, building services, Don Stock.
Not used to being called so soon. Mayor, Board of Works members, Tim Clark is here to help with a kind of an introduction of our self-evaluation and transition plans for the American Disabilities Act. You'll also be getting a packet for our Title VI. I just opened it up before I came down to start going through it, as it has taken me a lot of the time today to go through the Disability Act process. So Tim is here to answer any of your questions. The Americans with Disability Act is a comprehensive federal civil rights statute enacted in 1990. It comprised of 5 major parts or titles. The ADA purpose was to provide a clear and comprehensive national mandate for eliminating discriminations against individuals with disabilities. Over the next 2 years, the city will strive to ensure that all residents and visitors are able to access all services, programs, and activities, and will promptly investigate any formal grievances filed according to the grievance procedures that's outlined. Additionally, the city will strive to include annual budgetary allotments to make required improvements that will eventually make the various facilities fully accessible, with emphasis given to the improvements that most impact the ability of persons with disabilities to access facilities or programs. Where physical access cannot be provided, alternate means to provide program access to persons with disabilities will be provided. When we start this self-evaluation, only areas open to the public at the following city-owned or leased facilities where city programs/services are provided. Those are City Hall, Old Stony, the police department, the police station, all 3 fire stations, the street department, the parks facility, and the golf course. Areas of these facilities open to the public generally include parking lots, walks, parking amenities, and areas within buildings that are not restricted to employees. Some buildings or areas of certain buildings have infrequent public access and will be evaluated under the same guidelines. In addition to the city facilities, we'll be reviewing existing city policies and procedures within each department. The focus of this review will begin with the distribution of a questionnaire to each department, followed by other data gathering if needed to better understand the responses to the operation of each department. Key items reviewed within each department will include ADA-specific training of employees, interaction, accommodations of persons with disabilities, writing of publications produced by each department, and staff suggestions to help them accommodate all persons with disabilities. Following this review, recommendations will be made to improve the accessibilities of programs for each department. It is the goal of the city to make facilities for all service programs and activities fully accessible within 20 years. The result of this self-evaluation will identify all architectural barriers at the city facilities, the degree to which these barriers limited accessibilities to their priority for corrective action will be subjectly categorized as high, medium, or low. High priorities include barriers that effectively prohibit access to service or program or present a safety hazard. Medium
Priority.
thank you, included barriers that either partially prohibit access or made it quite difficult, and low priorities, barriers typically do not limit access but are not compliant with standards. The improvements will be categorized into a 20-year phasing program to spread the cost for implementation out and address the most serious deficiencies at the most used city facilities. The actual implementation schedule, budgeting, and prioritization are up to the administration and are likely to be impacted by complaints, new regulations and requirements, and the availability of funding. Note that these costs are to restore procedural and other modifications that can be made to provide equal access to city programs, and some modifications are not required until the renovations are complete. This plan will show how the city will be addressing and processing the ADA self-evaluation transition plan over the next 20 years, and how the facility audits will occur over the next 2 years. I know that going through this, the first thing that's really going to help us out is we're going to be able to really address better our 50/50 sidewalk program, because it's going to explain the widths of sidewalks and the directions that should be going, and things that maybe we haven't been doing because, one, we weren't knowledgeable enough of this, but that's all going to change. I'm very excited about the start of this process, and I brought Tim in so that if questions are needed, he can answer them. I still have training to do.
Did you have anything for us, and Tim? You'd like to talk to us
I think he just
about?
said everything.
So, since Alicia's here, we'll talk to her about this. So we had some discussion. We think this has to be passed by ordinance by the council. So does the Board of Works have anything in this I mean, do we need to pass something, or do we just?
I mean, you guys can, if you wanted to pass a recommendation that the city council accept this or adopt this, you guys could do that. I don't know that it's necessary, but that's something that the Board of Works could do, and that could be passed along to the council to show your support for it. But I think ultimately it would need to be an ordinance. So the council would be the one that would need to actually adopt the plan via ordinance in order to make it effective policy for the city.
So would you just have an ordinance and make this like a exhibit or an attachment?
Yeah,
or-
yeah. So in the packet, there was a sample ordinance, which I'll tweak a little bit, but it kind of goes through and it adopts the ADA, generally speaking, as a city ordinance. And then as far as the city plan goes, we would just attach the exhibits to that for what the city has as exhibits to that ordinance, so that it could all be made a part of the process for the city. So.
Real quick, there's a grievance form that's in there.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Okay, so go ahead. I just, when they got to it, I didn't want them to think that was.
Right. Yeah, they're in the packet for both the ADA and for the Title VI. When you receive the Title VI is if somebody decides to file a grievance against the city because of whatever the issue may be, there's a process that you go through. And the first process that goes to your ADA committee to do a review, somebody go out and inspect. There's timelines set up in that as well. So then I'm going to say your ADA coordinator is most likely going to be the one that goes back out with another person. You always want to take two. They come up with a determination. If the individual that files the grievance does not agree with that, then it's got to come back to a different committee, and we need to know, do you want that to be the Board of Works to review that, or do you want that to go to council?
Recommendations?
You know, I think that ultimately the Board of Works role is to kind of facilitate the operations of the city, and then the council's role is to kind of, implement that through ordinances and that sort of thing. So I think that it would make sense for it to go to the Board of Works. I don't know that that would need to be something the council would need to necessarily deal with, because they're more of the initial, the initial ordinance, and then after that, it falls on the Board of Works to kind of utilize those ordinances in the city policy and that sort of thing. So I think it would make sense for the Board of Works to be the body that would come before, rather than the council.
I would agree with that, because if it comes to me, it's going down to the mayor's office so she can be aware in case somebody in the public is going to be calling her. So she'll know way ahead of time before anybody would make any type of a call to her. So I'm glad that you decided to do the Board of Works.
And with you being on the Board of Works too, it helps, because that's one of the things that you're going to find is if he does make a determination and it goes against what their beliefs are, you're going to be the first one that gets a phone call. And, at that point, then it comes back to Board of Works. We would explain to you what the grievance is. You would make a determination at that point. And if you agree with what your ADA coordinator is saying, they're still not going to like that. Then they go through their due process
And
after that.
It's really similar to, like, if we have a disciplinary action for a police or fire, those go in front of the Board of Works. You guys are the hearing body on that. And then, once that has gone through you all, if that still isn't satisfactory to the person, then they go through the court system, but it goes from here up there. And so it just makes sense that that would be the way that this would operate as well.
And then the other thing that I would say through this whole process, has brought me here today, Don has really jumped into this, so and after getting some of this information, understanding a lot more, there's a lot to go along with this, but he's really understanding what's going on. But I also had meetings with your department heads, and it was the same way, that everybody feels like this is very important, and that's going to help this whole process of moving through a lot quicker. Most places I go, you get pushback from different people, and then you start getting fighting amongst the organization of, you know, I don't want to pay for anything, and we're not asking anybody to pay for anything, but there will be some processes that you will go through that when, you know, and I asked, I asked Don this earlier, and that is, you know, when you get towards the end of the year, a lot of times what we see are mayors saying, you know, we're gonna cut spending, you know, or we're gonna suspend it, that he take a look at some things to say if there's some funds out there that, you know, we can change some parking lot signs or get new striping on parking lots, that we take a look at those things, and that's some of the things that you'll update over this 20-year plan, so.
Well, thank you, and thank you for working with Don on this. It's something that we needed to do a long time ago. So I'm glad that
Something we
we're.
need to do today.
Yeah,
We
so
can't
I'm
go
glad that
backwards, so.
today we're moving forward on this, so. And then the council meeting is November 13th. So if we can have.
We will
did you
have it
say-
all, yeah, we'll have it all upgrade, after this meeting, we're gonna get everything updated, and then you'll get the
Get it to me.
electronic copy,
Okay,
yes.
awesome. And if you send that, I think the first versions were in Microsoft Word, but if you send that to me, then I can make a couple of, because I can't not make some edits, right? So I'll make a couple of edits, and then we'll get it out to the council.
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
Thank
thank you. Appreciate it. Did either one of you have any questions or, okay, thank you.
A lot of good work very quickly done.
Yes, yes, I appreciate it. Okay, Joel, did you have something for us this evening?
Had a couple things added today. The first thing is a request for use application from Daisy Shoemaker for the community Thanksgiving meal for the neighborhood center. And they're requesting that the fees be waived as well. This is an annual event.
And the date on
The
Thanksgiving, is
date-
it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they actually would want it from the 21st to the 23rd to prepare.
Okay. Neighborhood center, did you say?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I was paying attention, honestly, I
You're
was,
fine.
okay. I'll make the motion that we approve the request from Daisy Shoemaker to conduct the annual community Thanksgiving dinner at Reserving Neighborhood Center from the November 21st through 23rd.
I second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, got the approval on that.
Thank you. And then while we're on the neighborhood center, as you know, last year and at the beginning of this year, there were some renovations done to the neighborhood center to kind of spruce it up, make it more inviting and make it more up to date. And one of those things that we would like to do is replacing the table and chairs that we use at the neighborhood center right now. They're the big wooden, heavy folding tables and the metal chairs. We would like to get the same thing that we use at Prairie Creek Park, which are the plastic tables and the metal and plastic chairs that fold up and stack really nicely. The cost of that to have it be 200 chairs and 24 tables would be $8,147.20. We would like to take that out of our Park Others line item, which is 211, and it has almost 26,000 in it right now.
I think that's really gonna be nice to have that down there. I was down there, Saturday, I think,
Yeah.
for a party, and that was, it looks so much nicer down there, and I think that would just be like the finishing touch on it. So I think that's a great idea, plus not have to handle those heavier tables.
Right. And these do come with the chair holders so that they'll stack as well as table holders. And we also bought two table carts for Prairie Creek Park as well, so that they're not just leaned up against the wall in the hallway there. We'll be
Oh,
able to
that'd be
use those
great
carts
then.
there as well.
Okay,
I'll make the motion that we approve the purchase for the Parks Department in the amount of $8,147.20 for tables and chairs.
I'll second.
roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
you can get
And
them
we should-
ordered now.
We should have them before Thanksgiving. It says 7 to 10 days, so they'll be able to use them
Thank
for the
you.
Thanksgiving meal. Thank you.
Thanks, Joel.
Oh, We also got the ADA equipment last
That's just
week.
what I was going to ask you. I'm glad, okay.
I was
but-
on vacation, but we.
But
did
we're
get
not going to
That's
put it
fine.
out this
We're
year.
not gonna put it out till next year.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Jason, did you have anything this evening? I'm in the new business section, Mayor. Oh, that's going to be you? Okay, okay. Matt, did you have anything? Nothing? Okay, I was going to give you the opportunity. So Kimberly, Community Development.
Good evening. So I am coming to the board tonight to ask for approval for a new PowerBook purchase. The Community Development Office computer is on its last leg, so would like to upgrade it. It would be from ProByte, and the quote for it is $1,800. I didn't bring it with me.
And you have the money in your budget?
Yes,
I
yes.
thought you said that, okay.
I'll make the motion. We approve Kimberly's request for her new notebook in the amount of $1,800 from ProByte.
Second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay. You can get it ordered now.
Thank you. And that is all I have.
That's it?
That's it. I'm quick and easy.
Wow, yes.
Nice.
Mayor, I got a couple of things. One, Tim and I thought that maybe we ought to have some type of a support that we can send on to the council for the ordinance process from the Board of Works, if that's an ability. I don't know exactly what, Alicia, but
So what we can do is we can just make a motion to recommend the passage of the ordinance at the city council. And then what we can do at the city council meeting is let the council know that the Board of Works did make a motion recommending the passage of the ordinance to show their support.
sweet.
That's what we can do.
Does that sound okay? Okay.
I'll make the motion that we recommend the passage of the ordinance to accept the self-evaluation and transition plan for the city of Frankfurt.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
with Bud now being the building inspector and I can concentrate on this side of things, I want you to know that we're working very hard towards a food truck ordinance that we'll be bringing to you prior to we go to the council. And Alicia, you'll be getting it also. Our staff are working towards that this week. And I'm hoping by the end of the week to have a copy of it to you, Alicia, for you to peruse through and to say yes or no or what needs to be changed out of it. I can tell you that we're basically going to allow the county to give the permit for the food trucks because they have to pass the health side of it. But they have to come to our side to get an occupancy permit to be able to use the truck in the city of Frankfurt. And then that will then spur on the ability for the fire department to make their inspections and Bud to make his inspections in the facility. We're trying to get it all coordinated and we're trying to make it easy. We're not trying to make it so they got to go all over the city of Frankfurt to get this accomplished and hopefully just make it a two-shop stop and be ready to go. But I want you to be aware that that's happening.
Okay, yeah, that's something we need to be looking at. Food trucks have become very popular right now, so. Okay, thank you. Okay, HR. Do you have something for us?
You should
Cheryl?
have before you the proposed 2024 employee holiday schedule for your approval.
I'll move that we approve the 2024 employee holiday schedule as presented.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Thank you.
We'll have this ready for departments tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Okay. Scott. Did you have anything, Alicia? Okay, unfinished business. Anybody have anything?
Good. Just had a question if our building inspector would have any comments on how the transition is going for.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You know that you can put stuff on the agenda if you want to.
I'm trying to be a team player here.
I think you usually do it the first meeting of the month is when, and this is just if there's anything that we need to do the second meeting.
Somehow I didn't get that memo.
Probably you didn't.
Can't find your email.
She, remember, she doesn't have your email.
So it's my fault, huh?
Yeah.
Well, good evening, yeah. No, things are going really smoothly. I appreciate Don's help. The staff's been working really well with me, overlooking some of my goofs and flaws, but things are going well. So I don't know whether or not you've seen it, but we've got over 20-some of our attentions out in the city on our permits and so forth. People seem to have taken politely to me. But nope, things are going well, and we'll carry on from there.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, new business. Street Superintendent Jason Forsythe.
First of all, I wanted to kind of comment, if I could, on the ADA thing. We got 2 Purdue fans in here, Mayor, counting you. This guy
Make it
actually,
3.
this guy actually kicked for Purdue. So if you knew that.
You did? I did not know that. Did Joe know that?
Leading scorer for what? Since 82?
Did Joe
Since
know that?
1982.
He never told me. I'm gonna have to tell him. Okay.
So the rest of the story is we can charge him double
Oh,
if he wins there. And when if you need help, the guy behind him can help pay too.
yeah.
Not you, the guy behind you.
I'll write a check.
Oh, my gosh.
No, I appreciate Board of Works. We have I took this in front of the council last week or last time, and I have the copy for you for the letter of it's a grant application for Mass Road Phase 3. It's kind of a letter of recommendation on the city's behalf that you guys have done in the past. We did that last year. I have some other information I'll email you if I haven't already, just kind of a breakdown of the grant process, and Kimberly and I and the mayor will be working on that in the coming months to make sure that's squared away and ready to go. I think December the 2nd is the deadline to have that turned in for Mash Road Phase 3. Some of the changes that we've made, we are looking at putting a pedestrian bridge across the creek there near Southridge subdivision. We were looking at some bridge work being done there, but the county had came and spoke with us, and I guess there's about 18 years left in that bridge now, and we want to kind of obviously don't want to spend a bunch of money on something that's still got 18 years of life left in it. So I know Alicia's, as soon as we give her some more information, she's going to be working with Tom at the county to try to do an interlocal agreement between the city and the county moving forward with that. We have the council signatures here. We've been working on a lot of letters from the school systems, the churches, anybody that might be able to help us out. I've been working with VS Engineering on getting some mapping for Meadowbrook Phase 2. That was one of the things they thought we kind of lacked on the last time was we didn't have a lot of information, which at the time we didn't have a lot of information, but we have a lot more now than we did then. So we'll be adding that in there and everything like that. But just wanted to bring this to the Board of Works to get approval for that tonight. And Tim and Don, I'll need some kind of copy of your new thing that'll go in with our submittal of this grant moving forward. So I'll be happy to answer any questions. We're going to continue to work on getting letters of recommendation from the county. The surveyor's office gave us one last year. Like I said, we got some from the school, the Corps, and others. So we'll continue to do that, and hopefully sometime January, February, we'll hear some good news back when it comes to Mash Road.
Remind me of the deadline for the grant.
December 2nd is when it has to be turned in.
Okay.
It
So
opens November, what, 3rd?
we have it ready. So timeline wise for the interlocal, it would be great if we could get that all taken care of like at the first meeting in November.
That would be nice.
Because then we'll have time to get it with the council or with the county and get their meeting and everything. So I don't know if that's possible, but that's what we should shoot for
Works for me.
if we can.
We can do that. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you. Yes. Oh, two people have questions, Jason.
In regards to your submittal to the state for phase 3, this is a school board question.
Oh.
We had, schools had entertained some discussions in regards to a trail down through there along from basically Blue Green to the high school. Is this something that if we submit a letter, would that enhance your application process?
Where were you going to have the trails again?
Well, no,
Oh.
you know, it'd be along
Mm-hmm.
Kelly and then up Mash Road, but just have the capabilities to put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Something that we could, trails are very popular right now.
Oh, yeah.
in schools, and I do have the support of the superintendent, and we talked about this previously. Schools would be, we'd want to be foremost and try to make a safe avenue for everybody to use, but especially our children.
What do you think?
I mean, I'll let the mayor comment as well, but, and the Board of Works, obviously Megan on the council, but I think we got to be careful talking too much about what we don't know. I guess, I understand the safety issue of it and the safety part of it, but some of the things they hit us on last time was things we really didn't have a lot of information on. We didn't have a lot of information at the time on Meadowbrook Phase 3 as to when that's going to start. Obviously, that'll affect buses. Are they going to pick kids up at the Mash Road Meadowbrook intersection, or are they going to go back into Meadowbrook? With 130 new homes, I assume they'll go back into Meadowbrook. I appreciate it, Bud, but I'm not sure. If they ask us a timeline, I'm not sure we'd be able to provide them one, obviously, right? I mean, what we're looking at.
Time, say, once it's a certain date.
Now, this particular project, obviously, you go for a grant now, it won't open up. There'll be work as you move forward with right-of-way purchase, utility relocation, things like that. But I don't think, this is something we're probably looking at 2026 for construction. That's how far these are back. That's why you got to stay on top of doing these when you get a chance, because even though you're approved 1 year, you're looking at 3, 4, 5 years down the road before you'll have a finished product. So if the mayor would like you to, I don't have a problem with it. I don't want to end up having to.
I do know,
Answer
like
a
he said
question
on
I
that
can't.
one, the application that we turned in before, if you didn't have like everything answered for them, they seem to not like that. Do you know what I mean? If you didn't have a plan in place, or, well, like what we're going to do about the bridge. We just said that we were going to work with the county or something to that effect. That wasn't good enough for them.
And we wanted to talk to them
they
about the
want-
bridge, which we did, but then they said, well, you didn't give us enough information on what
Yeah.
you're going to do with the bridge. Well, we didn't have a lot of time to talk about what we were going to do with the bridge. Now we've had time to sit down with them, come up with a solution on how we move forward on it. So that should be in our favor. But I'm just afraid of, because once you turn this in and you interview in front of them, and you never know what they're going to ask you. It may be something that you don't, obviously sometimes it's something you don't expect, but you got to be prepared for everything. But I don't know if I'd hate to say, okay, here's a possibility, but then again, You know, if we knew, well, we're definitely going to get a trail and it's definitely going to be in 2026, then maybe then. But if anybody else has any comment, they obviously go ahead. But
And we can run that by
Larry,
Larry.
Would there be any advantages to simply have a letter of support?
Oh,
That-
we
that-
letter of
That if
support.
that
Yeah.
project would fit into that you had support of the school and the school system, not anything specific, but just to say it was supportive of them, maybe to show that someone else was looking at that to be used.
I think a letter of support from the school board and the school system in general of the project that we're proposing would be really helpful. I think what Jason is kind of saying is that if we get into the weeds on other projects, that's
Right.
where it could get a little dicey. But I definitely think that the school board support would be
If you could do that.
supremely advantageous for the project.
Now's the time to do that. Approach the school board, like we have a meeting tomorrow night. You know, to approach and encourage and get our commitment to that. Just like with the bridge we talked about, the pedestrian bridge. Make sure that it is wide enough, for instance, to accommodate strollers or bikes or runners, things of this nature. Don't just make it a small one. And I'm just saying, we can do that. We can put together. We don't have any. The only reason I'm asking about it is that I was approached in my previous job when I had conversations with NDOT. They want to know if we were considering putting trails in from Blue Green to the high school. And I know I mentioned that to the superintendent, who was very much involved. I realize, because I've been there, I've done this. Is that you can't say, hey, we're thinking about it. No, you
Right.
can't think about it. You got to show them definitive numbers.
And I think for you, Jason, I mean, with not being a commitment by them, just by support, that way you're not, saying that this is something that's going to be done, so there's not asking for any kind of commitment. If it doesn't work out, it's just, even though they've supported, it's just nothing that's been lined up, right? Yeah.
what time's your meeting tomorrow? Where are they at? High school.
Superintendent's office.
Okay. All right. I'll just come out. I'll just go out there
Okay.
tomorrow real quick.
Okay.
Talk to them.
And then did you have something, Tim?
Yes, because you're looking at a timeline with this application being due the 1st of December, I'm going to ask this question. How do you feel about council accepting the ordinance? Or should we look at having a meeting with them? And I know that if you're going to have a meeting with the quorum, then it's got to be a public meeting, but to talk about this, because, we really need this passed before this grant goes in.
Well, we're gonna bring it before the council on November 13th, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So if we bring it before the council on November 13th and we forego the formalities, we could theoretically pass it on the 13th, and then we could do the approval for, everything would have to work out just right. But in theory, we could get it passed in connection with getting our stuff ready for the grant. And we do have more time. We could, we could get the grant stuff done after the November 13th meeting. I just think it would be nice to have a little bit of wiggle room in case things need to be adjusted before we submit it in December. But yeah, I think it would be maybe worthwhile to at least try to get it passed if we can on the 13th before, and maybe if we explain that, we've got this grant that we're working on as well and that we really need this passed anyway, but we need it passed, especially because of the grant. Maybe the council would find that to be sufficient enough to forego the formalities and to pass it on first and second reading in one night, which they could do.
They can do it, but
So we'll get you guys the copy after you review this,
Yeah.
and let you send it out to the council.
Yeah, and we'll just want to get it in the council packets. And then at the council meeting, we'll just want to explain, and I think it kind of speaks for itself, the importance of what it is, in general. But I think also if we connect it with the grant and explain why it's important that we get it passed that night as opposed to sending it into December, because the next council meeting that will be regularly scheduled will be in December, after our grant is due.
Right, that's why I
So.
wanted to ask. So, okay, thank you.
Glad you thought of that.
We'll do what we can.
Yeah.
We need a motion for Board of Works to sign this letter.
I would do a motion to approve the letter, just so we've got that in the minutes.
I'll make a motion that we approve and demonstrate support for the Mesh Road project and complete the signatures on the letter.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Thank you all.
Hey,
And I'll
we're getting
give
there.
you some more information on numbers, breakdown of numbers and stuff when I get it emailed to you.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Jason. Any more, did you see Maple? Have you been to Maple? I have not been there yet. But they were pouring it today? He said they're doing Maple Drive today,
Yeah, it's all signed.
pouring the cement. They were supposed to.
Yep.
And then does that finish up everything, Jason, right now for the paving? Yes. Maple, unless we decide to do another. Okay, good. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Do we have any other new business? Anybody have anything? Okay, I'll take the motion. Oh, wait. Yeah. I love it, Joel, thank you. Oh, yes, yes, thank you. Oh, yes. Okay, did you guys talk about?
We did.
Okay,
I mean,
okay, so Dorner, we got the bids,
Oh,
for 38,000.
yeah.
We got our bid, one bid.
Yes, so we did not accept it, we tabled it, so do we have to
Okay.
take it off the table and then?
Yeah, I mean,
Or
I don't
can we
think we
just
really.
accept it? Okay.
I think you can just accept it. I don't know that
Okay.
we actually like formally tabled it, but
We took it under advisement.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we can just go ahead and make a
Okay.
motion to accept it if that's what you choose to do.
And it is Sport Surfaces, is that correct? Is that the name of the?
Yes.
Sport Surfaces, or is this it? AG Sport Surfaces.
Surfaces.
AG Sports Services, Surfaces. Okay, get that out of there.
And it was 38,000.
$38,856.90. And were we thinking we're not going to get this completed this year, but at least, okay.
Fence company is being very difficult right now, so we don't know when the fence is getting put in.
Oh. So, I mean, we can always encumber funds or whatever we need to do, but,
We have the means to complete the project, so
okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the bid from AG Sports Surfaces for $38,856.90.
and I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, so we need to accept this and then get it back to them. Is there anything else we have to do? Okay. Okay, thank you, Joel. Do you have anything else? No. Okay, now I'll take the motion.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Scott, you can go.